Hello, hello, and welcome back to the smoke room. And Samuel, if I remember correctly, is heading back to the hip after spending a nice morning with William. So, yeah, we'll just get right in there. Nobody's lurking around the front. Harlan catches my gaze as I walk past the bar, but I make it back up to my room without much noise. I fuss with my whiskers in the vanity. Might be losing my luster from all of the stress. At least my chest still looks good. Somebody's knocking. It's probably Cynthia. Come in. The door opens and Madame Dora strides in. My chest tightens. It's good that you came back to us, Sam. When you disappeared into the night with the rest of the town, on the cusp of a riot, and didn't show up until now, I had begun to wonder if you would. I was with William. I look away. He took me into custody. The doe sits on my bed and urgently places her hand on my shoulders. Pray tell, what for? I'm not supposed to say, but he wants me to help him with something. He might need me to visit him more often. Madam shakes her head. That man always wants help with something. Let it be said that I will do anything for my girls. I tell him what they tell me. Just enough. And he protects us to the extent of his capabilities. Just enough. Maybe overlooking an expired license here and there. Or lining up the circumstances to expose the adultery of our, particularly violent clientele. But in my dealings with William, I discovered a very curious thing. When my intelligence runs dry, so does his protection. As always, ask yourself this, Samuel. Am I telling him just enough? This way, you'll find he's more reliable. He's a more reliable ally. Cynthia pokes her head into the doorway. Madame, I'm awfully sorry to interrupt, but I was worried sick about Sam. Dora's expression softens. Of course you were, dear. I've spoken my piece to Sam here. I'll give the two of you some time. The trail of her shawl follows out of the room. Cynthia closes the door quietly. Sam, what in the world is going on? First you explode last night during work, then you disappear all night. None of that is like you. Like I just told Madam, William took me into custody. No, that's just where you went. You tell me this instant what's going on, Samuel Ayers. You tell me this instant, or you don't ever bother speaking to me again. The number of people who know just keeps growing. Too many know. But this is Cynthia. Cynthia gets to know. I owe her that much. So I did my best to tell her what I told William last night, beat for beat. I think I'm getting pretty good at recalling these details by now. By the time I'm finished, she stares back in sadness and sorrow and terror. My God. Now it all makes sense. They're gonna say it's all your fault. I know. William said not to tell anybody. Maybe he thinks more things will come to light if I don't cause a distraction. I read about William in the papers. He used to be a big shot detective in the big city. Our little backwater must be a cake compared to what he dealt with there. Dora doesn't trust William. What do you think of him? Well, he's a cop, Sam. Of course you can't trust him fully. But he's native, so I fear him less. Just know I'm trusting you with my life. You can't tell anybody. I won't. But Madame will find out, if she doesn't know already. She always tends to. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I won't let you let you protecting yourself from some horrible thief ruin your future. You deserve better. She pulls me into a hug. I can't imagine what it was like to have to bear that all by your lonesome. Just know you don't have to anymore. Something in the air changes, like it feels less heavy. Tears are welling up in my eyes. She pulls away from me, then pulls a slip of paper from one of her pockets, like it's just an ordinary day. I have your list. I take the paper from her and look it over. Just 2 clients in the late afternoon, thankfully. Holler for me if you need something. I have a list today, too. I thank her again, and she leaves. I really like Cynthia. Like, she's I don't know, she's a good friend, and I kind of like that about her character, is... Like, I know some people would probably like if she had a route, but I kind of like how she's not even close to romantically involved with Sam, and, you know, they can just be friends. And, you know, she cares in that way. I freshen up for the rest of my day. Their desires aren't difficult. One of them just wanted a warm mouth, and he comes fast. The other just needed a chest to hold as he puts himself in me and fills up his condom. The rest of the day is easy. Harlan just has me move a few shipping boxes to the back for him. I make sure to let Cynthia and Madame know where I'm going this time. Tonight's an awful lot quieter than yesterday was. No folks out on porches playing poker. It feels like an unsettling lull. Or the calm before the storm. When I reach the front of the sheriff's office, I see Todd, but he must have seen me first. Oh! William said you might be coming around this time, but you're a little early. He's fine. Come on in. William leads me into his office. In the corner, sitting across the desk, there's a large round table with 6 stools. He takes a seat and sits down across from, and I sit down across from him. I wouldn't even bother trying to win tonight. What I think you should focus on is trying to figure out what everyone else is to figure out what everybody else will do to try to win. You could learn a lot about players, especially me. Just know that I'm going to fuck with you. Sounds about right. Todd stands up to answer the door. A huge shape darkens the doorway. Evening. I'm not prepared for the surge of emotions when I hear Nick's voice. Relief? Guilt? Fear? Being horny? I didn't think I was going to see him again for a long time after last night. I smile, but don't make eye contact. And then he sits next to me. You finally playing a game with us? His scent is partially earthy today. He must have been working a lot of hours in the mine. Was William's idea. Course it was. Course it was. Todd rises again to go towards the door, towards the knock on the front door. I hear the voices before I see them. Isn't this locale a bit dreary for a get-together? Oh, I love you, Cliff. You're cute. That's for sure. And Todd turns the light of the oil wick to brighten the room just a bit, frowning. Well, William hosts the game. William gets to pick the location. Oh, goodness. Sam is here. He puts on a sing-song voice. I know who I'm sitting next to. I wasn't expecting a room full of mine tonight. Well, mine and Todd, I suppose. William sighs. When you said you were bringing company, Murdoch, I assumed you meant somebody local. Did you really want to play with Ralph? The coyote grunts. We're just here for a friendly card game. Yo, same. Slap that Digimon deck on the table. Or Vanguard. I think I still have my Yu-Gi-Oh deck. We can play that too. Ever had the joy of playing against Phantasm Spiral? Most people hate it. I love it though. So, it's best to keep it casual for a newcomer. Don't you agree? I look between the both of them. William stares the fox down. For the smallest moment, something like a revelation flashes across his face, and his muzzle curls into a smirk and nods. They both know something I don't. Am I unwelcome here? I didn't say that. But I suspect that he did mean it. Beer and parlor games just seems, a little lowbrow for a fine fellow from across the pond, such as yourself. It's an ocean, not a pond. But the train ride was comfortable. Was, considerable. Cliff sighs into the chair beside me. Murdoch sits, between him and William. Todd takes the last seat between Nick and William. The otter starts, shuffling a thick, worn deck of cards between his, webbed hands. Does anyone know how to, need to learn how to play? He looks over to Cliff. The weasel glares daggers back at the otter, so he breaks eye contact. I could use a refresher. Been a while. Todd's eyes light up. Of course! Oh, he wanted to do the thing. What is this song? It's cute. Rounds in poker are fairly fast for a card game. After I shuffle the deck, I give each of you 5 cards face down. He gives us 1 card each face down, going clockwise. The objective of the game is to make sure that you have the best hand. Or, most importantly, to make everybody else think you have the best hand. A game about lying, huh? William's glance meets mine for a second before it returns to Todd. The hard part can be remembering which hand's best. Hands beat which. 5 of a kind is the best possible hand, but only if you deal a deck with a joker. It's a wild card. Are you saying that are we playing with a joker in the deck? I feel it can make the game too hectic at times. I don't mind a little bit of chaos. No joker this time. Maybe some other week. Alright. Then let me explain the best possible hands. The best possible hand you can get in the game is a straight flush. That means any 5 cards with numbers in a row. All the way from ace to king. And the suits have to be the same. I'm glad I already know what the cards mean, because neither ace nor king are numbers. I see sweat on Todd's brow. If more than one person gets a flush, the highest order wins. 4 of a kind is the next best. What's that? Todd made a choking sound. Well, you see... You don't have to explain that, Todd. He's fucking with you. Ah. Yeah. Sorry, I was distracting myself a little bit. You devil. Well, you see, the next highest is a full house. Is that what Todd dreams about whenever he tastes Miss Green's pies? Now hold just a second. Laughter fills the room. Nikolai clears his throat, and all of us go quiet. I feel it very rude to speak when somebody is explaining the rules. But watching Todd squirm brings me too much joy. Proceed. Unbelievable. Oh, sorry, friend. All right. Listen up, dipshits. A full house is 2 cards of one kind and 3 cards of another. Like 2 kings and 3 kings, and so forth. Next sequence is to win is a flush, which means all cards are the same suit. Then a straight, which is just 5 cards with increasing ranks in a row. Then 3 of a kind, then 2 pair, then 1 pair. Does this, convocation of clowns have any particular questions about the heresy of winning? How does this word pronounced? I think I know, but at the same time, I don't know. This song's super charming though. What the fuck?
Hierarchy.
Hierarchy. Okay. I forgot how that word was pronounced. It is what it is. It's I know the word, I just don't know how to say it. The hierarchy of winning cards, winning hands. Funny enough, I remember the order. I just forget how the sequence of the game goes. You take a look at your cards and think of how good your chances are. Betting wins clockwise in turns. Betting happens clockwise in turns. You can check, raise, call, or fold. Checking means nobody has to bet yet, and you're choosing not to use any of your money. Money? How much are we betting? This will be good. Nick pulls out a large sack of potatoes from underneath the table and empties its contents on the table with a loud clatter. No money. Model caps. Cliff frowns. But wouldn't real money be more exciting? Having things that we need, we do not, what? Having things that we do not have would be exciting, yes. Cliff opens his mouth again, but William shoots him a look that makes him shut up. There are more interesting things we could bet besides money. Christ almighty. No. Todd, continue. Right. Instead of checking, you can choose to raise. This means every player has to match the amount of chips, or in this case, bottle caps, to the amount raised, and places those chips in the middle of the table. A player can fold, refuse to bet, losing the round, or keep their chips. How many times are we allowed to bet to raise the bet? Our house rule is a limit of 2 times with a maximum of 10 chips. Otherwise, one round could take forever. Are we ready to begin? I really like this track, actually. I think you only hear it in William and Cliff's routes, but I love it. It's so much fun. It's I don't know whether to say charming or just like it's so much fun, I guess. Like it makes me excited to like I'm gonna have a fun time with these characters. Murmurs in our arrangement circle of agreement circle the table. Todd deals the cards and I pick up mine. Not terrible, but it could be better. William is staring directly at me. I'll raise. He flashes me a grin and puts a few chips in the center. Murdoch looks calm around the table. Then I'll have to fold. Cliff lowers his lip, trembling. I must fold as well. Jesus, you two. You didn't have to fold that fast. Then I'll call. A pair isn't amazing, but 2 kings ain't bad. A shame Cliff and Murdoch didn't show their cards upward. I'll fold. Jesus. I'll call. There we go. I'll draw one. Just one? That has me a little nervous. Todd took by the look of his eye. Maybe William's trying to get a specific combo. I threw away the 7 and the 9 and the 7 and then 4, then pushed them into the center. 3, please. And 3 for me. The otter turns his cards over and frowns immediately. William is staring at me with that shit-eating grin, and this time he shows teeth. I'll bet. I look at my hand and think, it's still not looking too good. I've already wasted two of my 20 bottle caps. I'll fold. I fold. William collects his prize and reveals his cards. The hand is complete garbage. What the hell? Oh, I could have beaten that. Nick is smiling, and Murdoch is holding his chin in his paw. You'll let me lead you around by the nose. Don't let me do that. Round 2. Murdoch collects our cards and shuffles while William starts to hand out cards from the second deck. I take a look, hoping my luck is a little better this game. Not great. I'll bet. Then I'll call. Murdoch looks like he's just as confident as William was, but he's probably full of it. I'm a bit tired of these darn dogs yanking my chain, so I'm not gonna play their game this time. I'll fold. I'll fold. I'll fold. And I'll call. Cliff's whiskers twitch when he hears that. I'm taking 3. Thought as much. 3 as well. Just 1. Murdoch watches Will draw, smirking. I raise. William sends his smile right back at Murdoch. I call. I raise. William's tail is flicking side to side as if he has another has the other 2 cornered. Shall we reveal? What an excellent idea. Very well. The 3 flip them. William's 2 pair is higher than Cliff's. But Murdoch has 3 queens. Huh. Didn't you just give up the lecture to keep you in check? I had better chances that time. Cliff collects our cards and Murdoch deals the shuffled deck. Cliff wrinkles his nose as he stares at his hand when Murdoch deals his last card. Excellent. I will have to bet this time. Mother of God. Fold. Nick lets out a pensive hum, looking at me. Call. Raise. The otter was beaming any... if the otter was beaming any brighter, I'd swear he was the sun. I mean, but he kind of is, though. He's cute enough. Fold. What? No tricks this time? William smiles. Smile is toothy again. If that's what you want to think. Cliff doesn't seem intimidated. Nick scratches beneath his muzzle. I fold. Then it's up to me. I'll draw 3. 3 for me as well. And I'll draw 3 too. I see Cliff's eyes widen with excitement. I raise. I will fold then. I call. The otter puts down his this rather quickly. Show me what you've got, sir. Did y'all just... look away in embarrassment? And did he blush? No way. I always pictured him having the eyes for Miss Green. Not Cliff of all people. I mean, but Cliff is cute though, so I can like... you know, I can see it. I fault no one if they say they like Clifford, because he is real cute. But I'm not looking for cute. I'm looking for sexy. Just look at William. Look at those beefed arms and that broad chest. Anyway, he flips his cards, showing off his hand. 3 queens. Cliff reveals his hand. 3 kings. Shoot. I thought I had that one. I collected everyone's cards and shuffled while Cliff raises his bottle claps. No shame in losing an honorable standoff. I got lucky. Cliff deals the hand. Finally, something workable. I bet. Nikolai chuckles. I call. What? Is he doubting me? I suppose he should, considering all the lies I've been telling him as of late. I frown. I feel myself frown. Todd lets out a squeaky A squeaky sigh. This just ain't my game. I fold. I notice Will's ears perk up at that. If his disposition improves after Todd folded, then maybe he needs others to do badly. So he's probably call and fake his hand for the rest of the game. I call. Gotcha. I fold. And so must I. Alright. If William's hand is bad, and Nikolai is underestimating me, then I should actually win this one. I'm drawing 3. Just 1. I don't like that. Is he taking a big risk, or does he have nothing to lose? 3 myself. At least I know his hand is lousy for sure. He's smiling big, but that was the same expression he wore before. That must be the face he puts on when he doesn't want somebody to read him. So in other words, he must be hiding something. He probably still has a lousy hand. Nick just has a really concerned expression. I can't really tell what he's thinking. But this looks really good to me. I bet. I call. Nikolai is it folding? Well, maybe he thinks his hand is just good enough to beat mine. William lets out a one-note laugh, but then puts on a lilting tone. Lilting tone. Google, please help me. What the fuck? Lilting. Lilt. Speak, sing, or sound with a lilt. What? Oh, okay. Sure. I should probably look up what lilt is, since I did lilting. Oh, okay. I got it. A characteristic rising and falling of the voice while speaking, or pleasant, gentle accent. Okay. Then I'll raise. What? Bullshit, William. Bull. Shit. Neither of you folded. Guess I'm eating shit. He reveals his hand. Ha! 2 deuces. Pathetic, William. Pathetic. 2 pair. Not too bad. But unfortunately, this deck was stacked against you. He reveals all 4 kings and an ace. Seriously? I had 4 kings from the start. He was acting distant. He was avoiding drawing attention to himself. I'm really bad at this. It's my turn to shuffle. Wait. Who's... Well, okay then. I hear a shot. Nikolai lunges, pushing me to the floor. Cards and bottle caps fly off as the table turns over and everything hits the floor. I hear Cliff scream, and William is already on his feet. His gun is drawn. Shots go off. My ears are ringing. More glass shatter. There's a horrible noise like a person gargling, then a thud. Everybody stay down! William runs out of the room. There's a squeaky whine coming from underneath the table. He's injured. Who knows first aid? Do something. Somebody help him. It's only a bit of blood. It grazed me. The fox yelps. Todd is already pulling a box from the cabinet. Gauze for the wound. I look behind where Murdoch was sitting. There's nothing there. But there is a bullet lodged in the wall behind where Cliff was sitting. I tense up when a shadow covers the window. Todd, come help me with his body. With this body. He's dead? Yeah. Cliff sobs on the floor while Murdoch clenches his teeth, hissing. Nikolai kneels between Cliff and Murdoch, applying pressure to the gauze while he pats the shaking Cliff. Hey, you want to help him? Take deep breaths. You must be helpful to yourself first, before you can help anybody. If our friends can be brave after taking a bullet, you can be brave too. I don't feel very useful here. The least I can do is follow William and Todd, scouting to be an extra pair of eyes. There might be more of whoever attacked us lurking around, but it wasn't too smart to fire off a gun into an armed police sheriff's department. Maybe they thought the night would give them enough cover to shoot once and get away. Turns out they were wrong. I hate this place. It takes a while for my eyes to adjust to the moonlight. William is crouched over the body with Todd looking left and right over his shoulder. His gun is drawn. Can you identify this man? Not on the tip of my tongue. Gray fox, looks young. I recognize the gun model, though. That's a 1910 model. It's a self-loading handgun. Not surprised that he missed. Was he there the whole time? During the card game? William smiled. Very good, Sam. Murdoch knew too, didn't he? He placed himself very well to keep an eye out the window. I can't imagine how he managed to keep his gaze from the window for that long while watching it at the corner of his eye. Maybe he'll illuminate me later on why he was followed. Todd, go fetch the bedsheet. We'll wrap him up just to get him out of the alleyway. Yes, sir. Prickles go off on the back of my neck, like we're being watched, but I can't see any lights turn on in any of the townhouse rooms above us. Starlight sparkles in the sky, and the wind picks up. Todd returns with a sheet and lays it on the ground. They push him into it and roll him up. Then they carry him inside into the jail. His body lands on the ground of the cell with a thud. They lock the door. I suspect it's to keep anybody from getting in, considering this one's going nowhere. That revolting spell of shit and blood bringing me back to the cave, and I walk away, feeling myself retch. We have a lot of paperwork to fill out in the morning. Todd wilts. Fun. It disquiets me that neither of the two of them seem much fazed. The fox looked maybe young enough to be 15. Why would he throw away his life like that? And Nikolai walks into the room with Murdoch leaning against him. The fox's clothes are stained with dark spots of crimson, and his eyes are closed. His shoulder is bound in a ribbon and heavy gauze. Cliff hovers behind, wringing his hands. This one's all patched up. You feeling all right, buddy? A little woozy is all, but fine. This is Murdoch's theme, right? Yeah, like this song. I'm pretty sure this is Murdoch's theme. I really like it because I sometimes just like put it on when I'm drawing because I'm just like it's real good. Actually, one character theme I find myself going back to on occasion is his name Jed or Jeb? Is it Jebediah or Jedediah? Jebediah. Let's go with that. But yeah, the horse from Cliff's Route. I really like his character theme. But, yeah, you know. You shouldn't be talking right now. You should be resting. That can wait. Do you know why you were followed? Followed? No, but I know who it is. Was. Jimmy Fisher. The fox can barely keep his eyes open. Orphan, flunky, did odd jobs around town, rarely well. His speech slurs a little. Suspect he stole poppy shipments from Ralph, and never caught him. Know the folks would go to him for favors. Dark things. Bad news. He could barely get more out of any more words out now. I'm taking them both home. You should go with them, Todd. I thought so too, sir. Stay safe. We'll hunker down. Nick and Murdoch hobble out of the front door with Todd and Cliff following closely. The door shuts. I hit the wall with my fist. Why the hell would anybody shoot at us like that? I admit that it's the first time somebody was stupid enough to try and shoot at me in my own office with my deputy nearby. But stay long enough and you'll find a lot of the shit in this town don't make much sense. Like a child thinking he can gun down my guests on my own turf. Or more people missing than ordinary from a town this size. Somebody or something in this town is up to no good. And the worst thing is, I don't even think it's all necessarily connected. I just know that that they pay me too much for whatever's happening here to be ordinary. That's part of why I don't mind putting Mr. Hendricks in an uncomfortable position. He thinks he's responsible for something. You think he's responsible for something. There's no doubt in my mind he's responsible for some of it. I just haven't honed in on anything as of yet. I felt a pit in my stomach. What sort of strange things, William? Todd were not troubling Miss Green just for her pies. Her husband's missing. I look back to the jail cell. I can see the moonlight on those sheets. It's not hard to imagine them rise and fall beneath the fabric. They don't. Should we talk about this here? He can't hear you, son. But what if he can? He's not anybody no more. Unless there's something inside him that still can. Something that poisoned him. Just like Jack's cave. Just like dirt beneath our feet. This town is cursed. I think William knows that, but he doesn't know how to put it into words. I don't think he's a spiritual man. I've never seen him go to church. Though, it's not like I do either anymore. Just feels disrespectful is all. William looks at me like he knows I'm fibbing. What are you afraid of, Sam? Most of everything. I was brought up a God-fearing man. William crosses his arms and furrows his brow. You're dodging my question. But I'll entertain it. Leviticus 18:22 never held you back from doing what you do. You don't seem like the type who memorizes scripture, Sheriff. You pick a few time and again. You pick up a few time and again. But that ain't important. I don't care for I don't take you for much of a literalist, Sam. You read between the lines when you want to. I don't think you're afraid of God standing in that corner. From your perspective, surely you could hear us just as well as my office, as in front of that corpse. The both of us turned to the sudden loud banging of a hammer. And you could hear us over Todd boarding up my window. Him being all-knowing and all-powerful and all. Fair enough. So I'll repeat myself, Sam. What are you afraid of? I've never been much good at blocking things out. Even when I want to. Just some mean and stupid rock tumbling around my head. Don't call yourself stupid. I'm the only one allowed to do that. I think that line's amazing. Like, man. Says who? The red on your face. He pats me on the cheek. I slap his hand away. What are those rocks spilling out, Sam? Just an ordinary sin. Such as doubt. William hems. It's ordinary for men to doubt the existence of God, Sam. I don't think you should be hard on yourself for that. I ain't scared of him being fake. If God ain't real, we just don't exist anymore when we die. And that would be that. I know that there are worse things that never walked, for certain. So what's the worst thing you have on your mind? He doesn't seem like he's going to budge on this. I already feel guilty for thinking it, so I might as well say it. Well, I cough and clear my throat. It's the same fear I've always had, really. Ever since I was a boy. I knew that if God must be real. I start staring to shudder over my words. I knew I'd be scared of the possibility of our tiny animal minds would never begin to process what God really is. The Bible was written by people, so they wouldn't be able to get close either. And that we'd never understand the vast and terrible workings that made up his mind, soul, or body. So that when he makes us in our mother's womb, he already knows what we'll be and how we'll die. right at the very start. And it doesn't matter if we're good, we're kind, we're cruel, we're callous. We're all just a meal for him. And though the entirety of our lives, he feasts on everything that we are. The trembling of my lips stop. I rub the sweat from my brow. If you could hear me, God, I'm sorry for thinking that. But every time I push the thought away, it always comes back. Christ Almighty. I told you that the thought was wicked. The coyote pinches the bridge of his nose. No, I asked, so this is what I deserve. I had just never pinned your brain being that. He waved his paw in a circle in the air. Artistic. That's all. I think I bothered him. That's a mite difficulty. That's a mite difficult considering the gunshot, the wounds, and the dead boy. But I'll step it up. I'll step it up. What? But I'll step to it. A bit of rest will do us all some good. You should go back to the hip. I have the faintest inkling that wouldn't get a wink of sleep tonight if you stayed. Wouldn't stay, not even if you paid me. Well, make sure you check in with me tomorrow. We need to put ideas together. You have a lead? This one should be easy. How? Sam. We have a bullet and a firearm. You think a boy's just running around willy-nilly with a loaded gun he bought at a store so he could stalk and gun down a target after an hour? No, an adult gave him that weapon. But who? Either somebody very crafty or somebody very stupid. Though, I'll bet the rest of my left ear that it was somebody very stupid. What time should I show up tomorrow? Apart from visiting the coroner, and purchasing a window, I should be here all day. So whatever suits you. I'll see what I can do. I open the door, letting my eyes adjust to the dark. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. This is getting a little long, so, it'd be that way. So I'll see you all around, alright?